I don't know if I know what it's doing or not. If it's doing its thing or not, it's hard to tell. Copy. Let's go to. All right.
So it's a not spelling and not counting night, I see. For me.
Not spelling and not counting?
I can't do it right today. Probably because I got super angry at work today.
Uh-oh. That's never good.
Well, they cut my hours again.
Oh, God.
Like, already I only work 20 because of this whole thing, and now they're cutting it back to 16.
Yeah.
16 hours.
Ew.
Yeah. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah, like, just, like, lay everybody off and have them collect unemployment. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I have these. Oh, God. Come on, Internet. I don't know what's happening.
We're on. I see us.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
It says waiting. Waiting for a girl like you.
I sort of had a feeling.
Come into my life.
Oh, yeah, it did end. Huh.
Oh, what is it? Oh, come on.
Uh-oh.
It's showing live.
See, but why am I having that then?
I don't know. I mean, it's right here. Look.
But it's not. It's not going to the event.
I see that.
I set the event up so that this worked the other day. Perfect. I was like, oh, this is so freaking
Lou, it
cool.
never works when you need it to. Never. Never.
Do you see something I'm not seeing?
Yeah, it never does. Never does.
You've already clicked that like 25 times.
Connect streaming software to go live. My streaming software is connected. Okay, what I'm going to have to do is this. I'm just going to have to go. Darn it. Cancel. I don't want that. I don't know. Let me find it. Oh, now I have to find it. Go to your channel. Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast. Album Retrospective. Okay, I'm going to turn the volume off or it'll feed back. Okay, and sorry guys. Sorry, we're having a little miscommunication here with YouTube. And let me hit that. And where's the share button? I don't know what's going on. Copy that. Let's do this again. And edit post. Because people are going to go there. Billy Altman, everybody's going to go there and be like, oh, I can't find you.
And then we're going to get 75 messages.
I can't find the link. Where's the link at?
Yeah, everybody's finding the link. Okay. All right. Keith is here too now. Let's admit Keith.
Oh, my God.
Hawk, where you at, buddy? Oh, there he is. Is that what's that T-shirt?
Right here.
Neil Peart.
Right here.
We got Neil
This is
Peart.
a Neil Peart T-shirt. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Keith, meet Emmy Susani. She's also got a podcast. She's going to be hanging out with us tonight, just chilling like Bob Dylan. Okay, so all right, let's do some Iron Maidening.
Okay, but I can't see her, but
You can't see. Well, she's there. You couldn't see Bill. Could you see Bill last time? Keith, you're frozen.
I'm here.
Okay, all right. We got Keith. We
kept panning back and forth to him. Yeah, I seen him.
Okay.
There she is.
Okay, cool. Make sure you guys talk talk into your devices as directly as possible so we can get a good recording. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's what we always do.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
We try to anyway.
Yeah, we try, but nobody listens.
I can't.
It's matter with people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it running or not?
Josh says he's watching it.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
We got some.
Somebody's watching. Okay. Because it looks to me like on my computer it's not freaking working.
And on my phone it's working. So I see us moving and talking.
Okay. All right. There's something there. Okay.
It's buffering.
All right. We're going to go ahead and make the thing happen. So
Do the thing.
we'll do the thing. Okay.
Run it.
All right. So check. I got that. I got this. We got the music. Okay, guys. Here we go. Let's make show business magic. All right. Here we go.
Please do.
Okay, hold on a minute here. I made him edit. Okay, let's do it again. I was one thing I need to check. Sorry, guys.
You're good.
Okay. No, there's an audience watching, and they're probably not good. So.
They're probably fine.
All right, here we go. Okay, now we're ready. I got it. I got everything set. Okay, here we go. I need my notes. Okay. In 1982, Iron Maiden unleashed Number of the Beast upon the world. It was their third studio album and the first to feature the now iconic vocals of former Samson singer Bruce Dickinson. On this week's Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, we pay homage to the album that rained thunder down upon the music world and changed heavy metal forever. Also this week, Keith, Lily, and Lou welcome guest podcaster Emmy Susani, host of Chats with the Freak. And it all starts right now. Get ready to rock out with your talk out. You're listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, changing rock history one podcast at a time. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. My name is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini, and it is that time once again to rock out with your talk out. Tonight we are doing our monthly show where we take a classic album and we do a retrospective on it. This week we are talking about Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast. Amazing record, and we're going to get into all that tonight. Before we get started, a couple of things. I want to give a shout out to our longtime sponsor, Wolf's Customs. Chris Thunder, Wolf Dotson, and gang. You can go to wolfscustoms.online and check them out. There's no reason, guys, to get on stage. Well, once you get on stage, or get on Zoom or Facebook or YouTube or whatever with a boring-looking guitar, the same kind of guitar that the last 5 bands were playing. No. You get with Chris Thunder, Wolf Dotson at wolfscustoms.online, and he is going to hook you up with a custom finish on your guitar that is just going to be, you're going to love it. You're going to go crazy. The fans are going to go nuts. You're going to get all kind of emails from people. All kind of people are going to show up in the chat going, oh my God, that guitar is so beautiful. And that's what's going to happen. Keith can testify to this because he had a drum done by Chris Thunderwolf Dodson. And now Keith is he's almost so famous that he can't even be on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus anymore because this is what a custom paint job on your drums, your guitar, or your bass will do for you at wolfscustoms.online. Also, shout out to Rock Rage Radio, rockrageradio.com. Get the app. There's great guitar-driven rock 24/7, totally freaking free. You might love your Sirius subscription, but this is totally freaking free. Great guitar-driven rock 24/7 at rockrageradio.com. Correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, speaking of all that stuff, let's talk about who's with us tonight because we got a great show. First of all, we've got my brother from another mother from way down in Nolens, Keith the Hawk Hawkins. What's up, Keith?
What's happening? How's everybody doing tonight? Good?
We are just
Good? You
groovy.
all right?
We're groovy. And sitting next to me in the co-pilot's chair is Lily V6. What's up, Lil?
What's up? Watching a lot of movies.
Lots of movies.
That's what I'm doing.
I watched some movies that I won't tell you or Keith about because you guys will make fun of.
I would make fun of you anyway. All right.
And as I said at the beginning of the podcast, we have our guest podcaster. We're going to try to do as many guests as possible from now on because it seems a lot of fun. It adds different energy. Hopefully we can do a little cross promotion. Emmy Susani, the host of Chats with the Freak. Emmy, welcome.
What's good, guys?
It's good to see you. Hey, before we get started, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
So Chats with the Freak is kind of an arm of MSU Media, which is my media company that's based out of Pittsburgh. I wanted a place where I could bring on really cool musicians and discuss things that people don't usually discuss. They kind of ask the same old questions over and over again. So I kind of wanted to take a different approach and ask artists kind of stuff that they wanted to actually talk about instead of just the normal mundane stuff that people usually throw at them.
Give me an example of something you ask that's not the normal mundane stuff.
I guess like the one question that everyone says that they don't get asked is how they got started in music and what they wanted, what made them want to pursue music.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. So hang out with us tonight and we're looking for we'll be anxious to hear your freak perspective on Iron Maiden.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So we're going to get into the topic here in a minute. As always, when we start out the show, we always start out with a band. We usually play maybe 3, 4 if we get a chance. Bands tonight we are going to be featuring the music of Lovebone, Madzilla, LV, and Neverwake. The first band is Lovebone. I have no information on this band. I can't find a website for them or anything, but they are on a compilation, Skater Rock, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. Found it on Spotify. It's kind of cool. Check it out. We're going to come right back. We're going to get into our topic tonight. Number of the Beast. Guys, stick around. Thanks for hanging out.
Broken hearted, I'm
And just as a great punk rock song should, it ends nice and quick. That's a band called Love Bone, and you can find that Skater Rock Volumes 1, 2, and 3 on Spotify. Always follow me on Spotify, guys, because I create playlists just for the music each week. So if you're like, you don't want to hear to us jibber jabber, you just want to hear the music, I've got them like from time immemorial on here. There's literally years of playlists. So there's a lot of great music just on there. So if you have Spotify, check it out. Also, you can get the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus on Spotify. And one more thing before we get into this nice topic, I forgot to mention is if you love great guitar-driven rock, you like other people who, you want to hang out with a cool community of folks that are into it, maybe get some free music, cool conversation, access to all kind of exclusive stuff, please check out my website, loulombardirocks.com. Okay, number of the beast. Who wants to jump in first and kind of throw some twos? Do we want to do a little, maybe have Lily give us like a little summary?
Do you want me to do the thing?
Do a little summary, Lily, and then we're going to kind of get in. And hey, and also think about, guys, I want to rate the tracks. I want to give our
That's why I couldn't count. I had to do my ratings.
rate worst to best tracks on the album. So in between whatever we're doing, jot down your ideas, and we'll come up with some kind of list. So
I already got that. I already got that shit, man.
You got that shit? Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Lil, go ahead and kind of give us a little background on the album.
All right, as you said in the introduction, it's the third studio album by one of my favorite heavy metal bands, Iron Maiden. I could talk about Iron Maiden on every show, and I think I pretty much do mention them on every show. It was released March 22nd, 1982 on EMI Records in the UK and Capitol Records in the US. It's the first album to feature Bruce Dickinson, and the last with Clive Burr. He was fired during the Beast on the Road tour and was replaced with Nico McBrain. He co-wrote The Number of the Beast, Gangland, and Total Eclipse. This album, as far as heavy metal albums go, had much commercial and critical success, which heavy metal didn't start out that way. A lot of people discriminated against them. But this one had so much success. By 2010, 14 million copies have been sold worldwide. It reached the top 40 in the U.S., certified gold by the RIAA in 1983, platinum by 1986, and that's just 4 years after its release. So
this is the album that really took them from, the leaders of the new wave of British metal to an internationally known band.
Right.
They became
everybody.
They were
Bruce.
Yeah, they were playing arenas. They started opening. When they came to the U.S. on that tour, they were opening for Foreigner, Ted Nugent, and Loverboy.
Right.
That's a lineup.
Now that doesn't match, does it?
You know what I mean? But they won those people over.
Interesting.
But obviously it was very controversial due to the name of the title track and the name of the album. Religious people hated it. Also the artwork. There were public burnings of the catalog, and some smashed the albums with hammers instead because they were inhaling the fumes from the actual albums being burned.
Those devil fumes.
Right. So, but if they had actually taken time to listen or even read the lyrics, they probably wouldn't have thought it was sacrilegious at all. But, what do we know? And Steve Harris used a different approach in writing to cater to Bruce because he didn't think Paul Di'Anno was capable of handling the new way they were going.
They literally fired Paul Di'Anno, their singer who started the band with him, and brought in Bruce. But they had known Bruce because they had played with Samson when they were where they were club act.
The club kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't think Paul could handle the vocals or the new lyrics, so they switched it out. And Dickinson was heavily involved in writing many of the songs on the album, in particular Children of the Damned, The Prisoner, and Run to the Hills. And
well, I have a sort of contradiction on that.
Go ahead.
But
I know,
that's okay. I think Keith is...
He wasn't credited, but...
Let's talk about Keith. Let's talk to Keith. Throw it over to Keith. Keith. What do you go? What's on your... Keith, can you hear me? What's on your mind?
What about it?
What do you mean, what about it? We're talking about Iron Maiden.
What do you got? I'm just listening to you guys. You're covering all the good topics, man. I was just listening. I was like, half the stuff you're saying, I was like, that's good. I like it. Go ahead, keep going.
I like what you've done here.
That's all good,
What was your? When did you first?
Actually, we can stop the show now.
All right, we're done.
All right, guys, thanks for listening. What was your reaction when you first heard this?
I can't hear you. What?
Can you hear me? We having technical difficulties. You there, Keith?
Yeah.
So what was your reaction when you first heard this album?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I think we're on a delay.
I thought they were going to definitely be used. It was one of them things. It was one of them things where you hear a band and it's such a, I mean, I like the first two records, but it's such a departure from that. You can tell instantly the vocals were just soaring, man. The guy's like a freaking machine. He's just, as soon as he opens his mouth, it's power coming out. And he's one of the best metal singers of all time, which just happens to be coincidental because this album, I think, is probably, like you said, the album that sent them into international success. This album topped the charts in the UK. It actually broke the top 40 in the US. I mean, we're talking about the early 80s in a metal album where metal was starting to get its act together and really start to take the reins on a lot of Billboard stuff. So these bands weren't under the radar anymore. This is it. They were going for it. And with the singer lineup, the singer change, and then, unfortunately, the last album with Clive Burr on it, but Nico came in and does a remarkable job himself. So it's what else can you say? It's definitely an album that is a classic. It has to be one of the best metal albums of all time. I don't know where it ranks on a lot of people's lists, but I think it's up there with the heavyweights of all time when it comes to all in all metal albums. So,
where did you hear it?
You got me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Where did you hear it, Keith? When you first heard it, did somebody give you a tape? Did you hear it on MTV? Like, where did you first hear it? Keith, you there?
I heard.
He's thinking.
Probably I've heard Run. Yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
I heard Run to the Hills was the first song I heard from the album, which is probably still probably one of their biggest commercial success hits. They had the cool little like black and white Indian video with it, and it just was one of the things where. And I think a lot of my friends in high school were the Mullet Gang were passing around tapes, and we were listening to it, and we were like, this band's going to freaking blow up, and it did.
Because I remember it being very hard to hear in Pittsburgh. Like Pittsburgh did not want to play this at all. But I did hear it on the Metal Shop, which was like a thing that the big rock station had on up to like 11 o'clock at night on Sundays or something. So it wouldn't offend too many people. Like 11 o'clock at night. Emmy, what are your or are you a?
You are controversy, man.
Yeah. Emmy, what are your sort of thoughts on the record? Are you familiar with it at all?
I'm very familiar with this record. I'm not going to act like I'm a huge history buff of Iron Maiden because I'm not. I love Maiden, but I'm not like a huge history buff. I can't rank their albums or anything like that. But this album for me was one of the first metal albums I heard like growing up, like Run to the Hills, Number of the Beast. Those were tracks that my brother used to put on in the car, and I was like, oh, this is heavy metal. This is really cool.
I remember it being really hard to hear because, like I said, it wasn't anything that you could like. Other than the Metal Shop, I heard it once. I heard Number of the Beast once or twice, Run to the Hills once or twice. But that was, it just was not one of those things that made mainstream rock at all. They were, because of MTV, the Run to the Hills video was the sort of thing that got them on MTV. Let's talk about some little known facts about this record. Who wants to jump in?
What little known facts do you want to know?
I have a whole list, but if you guys have any you want to talk about,
what do you want?
Like, for instance, Lily mentioned when she read
No, go ahead with that because
what are you doing over there?
The dog's going crazy.
We've talked about even though Bruce was involved in the writing process, he was not allowed to take any credit. He wasn't allowed to legally take part in the writing process because he still had a contractual obligation to Samson.
Yeah.
So Adrian Smith, he wrote one of the tracks on there, 22 Acacia Avenue or whatever that is.
Acacia, yeah.
Acacia Avenue. And but Dickinson wasn't allowed to be
He wasn't
credited.
allowed to have the credit for any of his writing.
Yeah.
He did assist with the writing.
Yeah, they said he made moral contributions to the writing process. Now, do you guys know the story about the car wreck?
Yeah.
The Martin Birch, the producer.
We talked about this on the show before, but yeah.
Yeah, he was he had a car wreck with a minibus, and he hit a van full of nuns. And it was a bad accident. People were injured and everything.
Really?
Yeah. Check it out. The bill for the repairs for his Range Rover was literally 666 pounds.
Which is a creepy, nice fact.
Oh my god!
But I'm still not. I'm
just
still not relating it to.
That's so eerie.
Total
Oh my
coincidence,
god!
man.
I will never relate it to anything bad.
So what else? So Lily, who wants to chime in? Anybody got anything they want to talk about?
I have little tidbits about every song when we get to that part of it, but I don't
Okay.
have any of these little extra fun things.
Okay. I'm going to give you another little extra fun thing. The track was inspired. The title track number of this was inspired by a nightmare that Steve Harris had after he watched the movie Omen 3. That's just the Omen movie I've never seen. Have you ever seen Omen 3, Keith?
I can't watch it alone.
Hell no.
I've never seen Omen 3. I've seen
No,
the
I
first
haven't, no.
two.
I have it at the house. You want me to bring it over?
But I've never seen that one, so I don't know if it's any good.
I
or
mean,
not.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's one I know what the premises of it. He's an adult. He's like some kind of senator. I think Sam Neill, if you know who that is.
Yeah, Sam Neill's in it. Yeah, he plays the guy.
grown-up
Yeah,
Damien, and then he ends up getting killed at the end. If you hate to ruin it, but
he dies at the end.
But at the end, the good triumphs over evil, like it always does, hopefully, and that's what. Yeah,
But, yeah. That's
hate to give it away.
yeah.
In a movie, The Titanic, the boat sinks too. So I'm just not.
Yeah,
Aw.
it's like JFK. Well, he dies at the end.
Spoilers tonight. Sorry, people.
Say, guys, we're having some
yeah.
internet issues, so be patient with us, please. Yeah, but the album was heavily opposed by right-wing social conservatives, and they smashed it with hammers because they were afraid that burning it would allow the evil gases
To be inhaled.
to be inhaled, and people would take the devil in.
People are crazy.
If I, thought that would
People
was
are
actually
crazy.
really.
Was that?
People are insane. That's basically it.
That album caused a lot of controversy in the States. Americans are so easily offended, I guess.
And it was the U.S. is where people were
Yeah.
offended. It
It's okay
wasn't the
to
U.K.
do,
at
you know.
all.
Yeah. The UK and the Europe
Oh,
and
yeah.
everywhere else they had no problem with it.
Yeah, I mean,
We're very sensitive here.
I would recommend to everybody.
yeah, I mean, a heavy metal album will set people off.
I would recommend everybody out there to watch the classic albums. There's a series called Classic Albums, and there's a Classic Albums documentary on Number of the Beast. And when you see them talk, these are 5 of the most laid back,
Oh yeah.
like no ego kind of guys at all.
Proper Englishman.
Yeah, they just seem like very nice guys. In fact, one of the things that really impressed me is Bruce Dickinson. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's got like a really good sense of humor. He's very kind of self-effacing, and he's not afraid to make fun of himself.
And apparently he's very approachable. If you see him in public, he'll sit there and talk to you forever about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
That's what I've read.
Is that true? That's cool. But in any case, he's a very approachable kind of dude. You can hang out with him, and it'll all be good. So, we're gonna play another song. We're gonna come back and talk about the
That's how
individual.
most of them are, though.
Are they? Do you find that metal? Do you interview a lot of metal people on your show, Emmy?
Yeah, I interview a variety, but most of them are metal, and most of them are just so chill and laid back.
Yeah, they get it all out on stage.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah, I don't
aggression.
feel violent anymore.
But we're going to play Madzilla LV, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the songs, and we're going to do a little ranking of the songs. This track's called The Last Goodbye. We'll be right back on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. I need to make a little.
Pain running through my veins. Every night I feel the same. Hate in every breath I take. My bones rip from my flame. Pain for another day. This cannot be the end. Yeah, breathe me once again. It's whispering my name. Fear in my heart, all I've ever known. All this fear rips me apart. Taking my life at the break of dawn. This is the last shame spreading through my brain, burning deep within the flame. Insane, on my own again. The darkest side of hell. In vain, taking all the blame. I'm the villain they proclaim. Restrained, I'm a one chains. Executed and betrayed. Fear in my heart, all I've ever known. All this pain rips me apart. Taking my life at the break of dawn. This is the last
We'll be talking about Carol Baskin. We're talking about Willie D. Six.
Fear in my heart's all I've ever known. All this pain rips me apart. Taking my life at the break of dawn. This is the last
Madzilla LV, not AV, LV. I can't talk today. Madzilla LV. You want to go to MadzillaLVBand.com. We open the show with a little band called Love Bone. And by the way, when you look for Love Bone on Spotify, it is one word: Love Bone. Love Bone. Not like Mother Love Bone.
Not like Mother Love Bone.
Something like that. Just Love Bone.
No, nah.
No. No.
Although
Keith.
I would hope people would know the difference, but that's fine.
But yeah. So, Keith, what is your your favorite Iron Maiden drummer?
They've had so many.
I know they've had a little bit of a rotating a lineup there. Not quite as bad as Spinal Tap, but
Well, at least I think Clive Bird, he is dead actually, though. I think Nico McBrain's not. To me, Nico has probably got the bigger body of work. He's just going on more albums. I mean, Clive Bird's won 3 records, man. I mean, I don't know what else he did besides that. To me, they sound almost identical technique-wise. They have very similar styles, Nico has a edge because I've heard more of his work. Sorry, I have to go with Nico, and I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more Clive Bird stuff. All I know is him playing with Iron Maiden. He sounds good on the first 3 records from what I can hear.
Is Nico was he would come on and do he would come on in a devil suit.
Was that Nico?
Yeah, he was the guy in the devil suit on that tour.
He was a drummer. I think he was affiliated. Yeah, he was affiliated with the band somehow.
Yeah, he was a drummer in another band that they toured with, and so he would come out and put on the devil suit and run around with the pitchfork and chase, and Eddie would chase him around. And
How do I get that job?
Where do I apply?
I can be paid to run around in a devil suit.
You're listening to Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Go to LouLombardiRocks.com for more info. WolfsCustoms.online is our long-loving sponsor, and shout out to RockRageRadio.com. We have Emmy Susani on the show as well. Emmy, I forgot to ask you at the beginning, how do people find you on the internet?
I'm on most streaming platforms, so if you search on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, anything like that, just search Chats with the Freak, it'll come up. But if you go on to msumedia.com, there's a link on there. There's a tab at the top for the podcast.
Awesome. Okay, just want to make sure we got that in there. So if folks are going hey, this is really cool. How do I find this person? So that's how we find you. So let's get into some of the songs, man. Let's talk the songs. Do we have a list?
Come on, man.
I have track by track.
We have a list of the tracks. Do you guys want to try to rank them? Let's talk about you want to talk about the tracks first, and then try to rank them at the end. Let's do that.
All right.
Lily, pick a track, and then the 3 of us will tell you what we think of it.
Well, I'm just going in order. So the opening song is Invaders. It was actually a regret to Harris putting the song as the first song. He didn't think it was good enough. It could have been replaced with something better. But at the time, they didn't have anything to replace it with, so they were sort of just kind of rushing along. I think I saw you in your notes. It was 5 weeks that they got their album done in.
The album was recorded in 5 weeks.
Yeah, so they didn't have anything to replace it with. But it does. I think it's a good opener. It sort of sets a tone. But it describes the graphic violence and horror of Nordic conquest of England. So it's pretty straightforward. It's in your face. And this is one of the first of the tradition of battle songs that they did, like the Trooper, Duelists, and then Run to the Hills. So I think it works as the first track. But even though they they didn't really like it as their first song.
Are you guys familiar with the track? It's not one I know
course.
real well. What is your favorite? What's your thoughts on it, Keith?
Just real straight ahead kind of. It's a good opening track. I don't think it's a great song. I mean, compared to the rest of the album, but I mean, it's a lot of times that first track really can set the tone for the album. It's energetic, it's rocking, it's straightforward, and it kind of starts the album off in a pretty upbeat way. So I mean, it's not like you want to put a ballad first. So I mean, yeah, you want something to come out and
well, they do. We'll talk about it a little bit. There is a sort of a ballad on this album. We'll get to that a little bit later. So what do you got next?
The next track is Children of the Damned.
That's the one I was thinking.
This is my favorite one on the whole album, actually. This is my number one. It was inspired by the 1963 film of the same name. It's about 6 children with psychic abilities who are forced to battle for survival against, the world. Or the human race, I guess. I do like the mix of acoustic and electric in this song. I think that's why it's my favorite, because they were able to do both on a metal song. And it's sort of you can hear in the song the sadness and the loss in it. It's one of their most memorable songs. Bruce said he was heavily influenced by Black Sabbath's Children of the Grave while singing it.
It is the closest thing that you'll hear to a ballad
from them.
Yeah, I mean, because I heard Steve Harris talking about this and saying that that usually they have a lot. They do songs where they'll do like a more mellow section and they rock it back out, or they'll start with something kind of soft and slow and then rock it up. But they said this one kind of stays that way. Thoughts, guys, on Children of the Damned? Emmy, Keith.
Emmy. Go ahead, Emmy.
I dig that song a lot. I'm not hella familiar with a lot of the songs on this record. I'm going to be totally honest with you. And I said that at the beginning. But I actually do know this song, and I do really like it. I think it has what Lily said. It has a good mix of acoustics and electric and a metal song, which wasn't really that, I think, that done back then. It's not even that done now.
You familiar with Children of the Damned, Keith?
Of course. That's how they do. That's how they do. You got wooden balls, man. Yeah, this is a very melodic song. I mean, it definitely is. I'll agree. It's slower, ballad-ish, we'll say, compared to mostly all their songs, and it's dynamic, and it does have a very cool vibe to it. It's probably one of the songs that are a little different on the album. It's definitely not my favorite song on the album, but it's one of them ones that just stands the test of time. And I haven't seen Iron Maiden live in years, but last time I seen them, they were constantly like doing this song.
Yeah, they said it was in a set for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
I have to say, so far, the track selection, I'm surprised at them going for this slow track number 2. That seems like they might want to put that a little bit later in the album.
You would think.
So what's the next track on the album?
The next one is The Prisoner. It was inspired by a British cult TV show of the same name. This is one of the songs that starts out with spoken dialogue, which I love in most songs. I do like when they do that. And that was from the TV show that they took. It's a prisoner that eventually escapes a village at the end of the song. But what's interesting is he finds himself back to square one in another song back in the village on the 1984 album Power Slave. So it kind of does a little circling around back to another song on another album. So I think that shows how genius the band can actually be with this.
The actor who I don't have it in my notes. Right
I don't
here,
have his name either.
who played the prisoner.
I've read that. Yeah, it was somewhere. I forget. It was some English actor.
Yeah, they really wanted to use this on the album, and so they talked their manager into calling him. And they were all in the room, and the manager.
They should use Basil Rathbone. Remember that? You know that guy? He played Sherlock Holmes for years.
Yeah, right.
I just think that's a great name, Basil Rathbone. Matter of fact, if I could start a band, I would Basil Rathbone.
Basil Rathbone. But they called the guy. Yes. The whole band was in the room while their manager was on the phone. And I guess their manager was nervous and he said everything wrong. And they were all like throwing stuff at him. And so when they hung up the phone, the guy's like, "Why were you so nervous on the phone with this guy?" And he said, "Well, because he's a big star, not like you assholes." But they did get to use that, and they said it was cool. So, little tidbit about that. Again, guys, refer to the classic album documentary. It's not to be missed. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. What's the next song?
The next one is 22 Acacia Avenue. It's a sequel to Charlotte the Harlot, the prostitute that they've sung about before, and the dark side of her profession and the consequences, and it's about the singer trying to talk her out of doing what she's doing. Adrian Smith wrote the song, and actually did it originally with the band Urchin, but he totally forgot about the song, and then as they were coming up with material for the album, they're like, "Hey, let's bring this into the mix," and that's what they did. They included it on this album.
It's got lyrics like "caress her,"
It's
molest her.
It's got dirty things in it. It's dirty.
It's like beat her, eat her. I mean, it's really like
it's almost like porn in song version.
It really is. It
really is. It's
verbal,
dirty.
It's Pornhub from then.
It's verbal porn for you all.
Oh man, I was when I watched the documentary, like as they're singing the song, I had the captions on, and I was like cracking up with the lyrics. I'm like, oh my god,
they're dirty. They're bad.
It's a really, metal bands don't usually sing like stuff about sex too much. It's
Not
usually about
not
you
bands
know,
like that. No.
war and death and science fiction and swords and stuff like that.
And Iron Maiden's known for doing more of the epic type of stuff, not what AC/DC would do and continually sing about sex. So
yeah.
this was kind of a
That's what it
surprise.
reminded me of. It was like just like AC/DC lyrics in an Iron Maiden song.
Right.
Are you guys know this song at all? Keith?
I do.
You do? Uh-oh.
Yes, I
Keith's,
do.
Keith's giving that little devil look on his face.
It is nasty. Like I said, it's verbal porn, but it's a cool song though. I mean, it's the surprising thing about this album is only 8 tracks on the album, so I would probably put it somewhere in the middle. It's not the great song on the album. It's not the worst song. It's kind of but yeah, it's definitely got some racy lyrics, that we'll say.
Yeah, things that'll make your mother blush. All right, what's next?
Okay, so this is side 2 for those of you who know what vinyl is. The Number of the Beast as the first song on side 2. Second single released on the album. This is the song that caused the controversy with the religious groups. It is one of their most popular songs. It's been performed at almost all of their concerts, all of their tours. Steve Harris said it was inspired by a nightmare that he had after watching The Omen. In addition to a poem by Tom O'Shanter, or called Tam O'Shanter by Robert Burns. Again, it's one of those ones that starts out with the spoken word. It's Revelations, which I love that. And they did want Vincent Price to actually read that part, but he wanted way too much money. So they said, we'll just get someone else to read it. And they got Barry Clayton to read it. So
For years, I thought it was Vincent Price.
because it was pretty convincing. It sounds like him.
Yeah,
It does
yeah.
sound
I
like
thought
him.
for years, like, oh, cool, Vincent Price.
Vincent Price wanted Michael Jackson money. That's why he
Yeah.
did Thriller.
Yeah.
Vincent, he was in demand in the 80s,
Right,
man.
He's like, Iron Maiden, you got. He was like, Iron Maiden, you guys ain't got enough money. I want some Michael Jackson type money. And he was like, come on over, I got it for you.
That's pretty much how that went.
He wanted to be mainstream.
His last movie was Edward Scissorhands,
Which I loved.
and he barely finished it. He was very ill during the making of that movie.
You can kind of see that, though.
Yeah, he
in the
was
movie.
he was very frail, but he really believed in the project and wanted to do it. It's one of those songs I think it's like a great melody, great guitar work. What I'm really shocked about this album is though I would have put Number of the Beast and Run to the Hills on the first freaking side.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really like, these other songs are really good and they are really captivating. Like The Prisoner is great. I love The Prisoner. But I would have thought that like you would have put like your hits
On the first
side,
Side
it just
A
goes
side.
to show you that it got people going so much that it didn't matter. People.
I think a
loved
lot of times too, the band sometimes have a different vision of the album than what the actual public perceives. Where they're like, when they put out the song, sometimes they're on the same page. We put out a song and the song flops, and then you think, oh, okay, we'll just go on to hopefully it'll be another single off it. I don't know what they were. I couldn't tell you what they were feeling about those songs, but those songs back to back between Number of the Beast and the next one are two of their
Biggest hits,
mainstays.
yeah.
Yeah, well, two of the greatest songs in
Yeah.
heavy metal,
Right.
arguably of all ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You just,
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I just want to say real quick, another factoid about this record is, and this may be why the order is the way that it is that the record was not done. It wasn't ready to be released for the tour. Mm-hmm. They had to go out on tour, so they released the song I believe you're going to talk about next as a single.
Yeah.
And that because it was their only like hit single. It went to number 5 on the charts in the UK. And but I think that people got to hear the songs live before the record came out. So that may have been why that didn't matter because people loved the music live. So what's the next song?
The next song is Run to the Hills, which is what he's talking about. It is their first single released on the album. Also one of their most popular songs. It's about Europeans coming to the Native American lands, described from both points of view, which I love. The natives in the first verse and the Europeans in the rest of the song. The video features scenes from the 1923 silent movie,
Sorry,
The Uncovered Wagon.
some band keeps trying to play.
The Uncovered Wagon, which is a parody of the 1923 film, The Covered Wagon. The song is, for my own personal thing, one of my songs that I drive way too fast to, and this is
Yeah,
probably
no,
what's
it's
going to get me arrested.
It's definitely the floor. The gas pedal goes to the floor when this comes on.
Every time.
You know, you got to, and if the cop pulls you over, you can say,
Look.
"Officer, I was listening to Run to the Hills," and he's going to go, "Oh no, it's fine. Go ahead.
You're
go
good,
ahead.
Lily. Go ahead."
You know, put on some like air supply next or something." Keith,
I don't have air
you
supply.
got something you want to say about it?
Of course. I can't help myself. The one cool thing about this song is not only is it an awesome song, but every time, no matter what band I'm playing with, it doesn't matter if it's country, funk, rock, Amish reggae. If I start playing that drum intro, people know what it is. It doesn't matter who it is. If I start playing that shit is infectious, and you know exactly what it is before you even hear any vocals. That's the power of cool drum grooves.
Legit.
Yeah, dynamite track. One of these tracks, and I'm going to go back and look at my notes. That Bruce Dickinson actually came up with the drum part too.
Wasn't it that?
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah.
You got me on that. You got me on that one, so.
No. The Prisoner. It wasn't that one. It was The Prisoner that the drummer wasn't in the room, and Bruce sat down at the drum set, and they started putting The Prisoner together. But yeah, Run to the Hills. Okay. I'm sure, Emmy, I'm sure you love the song, right?
Oh yeah, that was like one of the first songs that got me into metal. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what's left? We're here towards the end here.
Gangland, one of the shorter of the Iron Maiden songs. It's about the fear of life in Al Capone 1930s style gangland times. They had to choose between this song and the song that didn't make it on the original album, Total Eclipse, and this is the one they chose. They felt this was the wrong choice. It's an okay song. I don't love it. It's number 8 on my list. I don't think it's like Maiden standards of a song. I don't think it sounds like a Maiden song, but I still like it. A little bit jazz, a little bit of rock, or a lot of rock. And they have literally never performed this song live, not once.
Yeah, that's sometimes that happens. You put a song on an album and you just go, no, we're just not gonna. It just wasn't. If they weren't feeling it. What are you familiar with the song, Keith?
Yeah, it's all filler, no killer.
Legit.
Okay, so it's not a good song.
It's just not a strong song. I mean, like for the album, the one thing that surprised me about this record, and I don't even know if maybe the first two would probably compare to it. You look at the total length in this album; it's less than 40 minutes long. That's kind of hard to fathom on a Maiden album. But so these songs, they were going for like more of a commercial sound with these songs. But I mean, Gangland when it comes to this, these 8 songs, Gangland definitely is the runt of the litter, we'll say. But
yeah.
Sometimes you try and you sometimes you shoot and you miss. It just happens. So we got one more.
The last song on this, on the original release, was Hallowed Be Thy Name, one of the greatest heavy metal songs of all time, one of the band's signature songs. It has remained in almost all of the band's sets since the album's recording. The only exception is the Maiden England World Tour in 2012 to 2014 and the second leg of the Book of Souls Tour in 2017. It's the tale of a prisoner being about to be hanged. Has some of Harris's most philosophical lyrics in it, as all of them are really very epic. But most of the band has stated that this is their favorite track and one of the most covered songs of all time by the band, with versions released by Dream Theater, Machine Head, Cradle of Filth, and Iced Earth, plus many more. So obviously one of the favorites.
Bruce said that he viewed this as narrating a movie.
That's cool.
So
I can see that.
The song is very, very cinematic. And Keith, Emmy, either one of you guys got comments on Hallowed Be Thy Name?
Definitely a Maiden classic. I don't know what to say, man. I could really get pumped. I could start pounding my fist on the freaking table like Khrushchev at the goddamn.
He needs a podium.
I mean, it's just like when I'm gonna take my shoe off in a minute. It's just classic Iron Maiden. This got cool changes. I just listened to it today, and I'm like, this shit is dope because it's like it got really cool changes. It has that Iron Maiden signature sound, which sometimes is called what I refer to as the gallop. They use in a lot of songs. But I mean, I hate to get ahead of ourselves, but I think it's the best song on the record.
Okay,
man.
so let's talk about. Let's go ahead and rank.
One of the best Iron Maiden songs of all time, and they've had some freaking good songs.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put numbers by the tracks here. So what we're gonna do is what are we gonna say is we're gonna go worst to best.
Gangland is my worst.
What do you think, Keith?
Gangland's my worst too.
Okay, so that is number 8. All right. Now, what's number 7 going to be, guys?
My number 7 is Invaders.
Keith?
Hold on a second, I can't read. Oh yeah, I got Invaders too. You're gonna ask Demi, or she's just hanging out? I got Invaders too as the number 7. So we're on
Do you have any feelings about the ranking of the tracks on this, Emmy?
Not really. I don't feel like I know enough about Maiden to successfully like rank something or have
Okay,
an
that's
opinion.
no
So
problem.
I'm gonna agree with you guys on this. I'm enjoying this.
All right, cool. All right, so we got 8 is Gangland, 7 is Invaders. What's number 6, gentlemen? Lady and gentleman.
22 Acacia is my 6.
Keith?
Unfortunately, you might not agree with this one, Lou. I got The Prisoner as number 6. It's just kind of like one of them. I don't know. Doesn't suck. It's not great. It's kind of.
Okay, so not one of your favorites. Okay, so 6 is The Prisoner. What's number 5?
I have The Prisoner as number 5.
Okay. Keith, what do you have as number 5?
I got 22 as number 5. So
Okay, so you guys are flip-flop. So close.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Lily and Keith kind of on the same page with some stuff here. It's like,
That doesn't happen often.
no, it doesn't.
Although I think my next one is probably not his next one. Hallowed Be Thy Name is my number 4.
What do you have for number 4, Hawk?
I got Children of the
That's
Dam
what I
for
thought
number
you were
4.
going to say. Children of the Dam is your number 4. Okay, so what? So Lil, what's your number 3?
Run to the Hills.
Keith?
Number of the Beast.
It's
I think
really
it's an
just.
anthem.
I mean, these next
It's a
3.
metal anthem, but I mean, Run the Hills just has that commercial.
These next 3 though are just kind of like, what order do you want to put them in? So so what do you got for number 2, Lil?
Mine is Number of the Beast for number 2.
And what do you got for number 2, Keith?
Run to the Hills.
And number 1 is.
My number 1 is Children of the Damned.
And Keith's
My number 1 is Hallowed Be Thy Name, because that's why it's the last song on the album, man. Save the best for last.
But our 4 is the same, just in different order.
Yeah. No. That's all. That's all right, man. So we're just gonna kind of like for now, just with Keith's list and Lily's are very, very close. We got Gangland, Invaders, The Prisoner, the Children of the Damned. Oops, I said it. I can't. I'm sorry. 22 Acacia Avenue, Children of the Damned, Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills, Hallowed Be Thy Name. I mean, I think when you get to tracks like
4 through 1.
yeah, 4 through 1, you're like, well, it's just what mood are you in that day?
Right, legit.
You know what I mean? To which ones you want to hear?
It's a tough call. There's not a lot of. It's 8 songs total on this album. That's hard to like rank them. I'm definitely, Gangland never did nothing for me. Invaders, even though it's the first track on the album, is kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of a blah song.
I mean,
but it does kick off the album in an energetic way. But the rest of the album just starts to really get more. Here's another good word to capture this album too. If you listen to the first 2 records, I understand Paul Di'Anno was a more kind of one-dimensional singer. But if you listen to the first 2 records, they had some punk influences in there. There was some songs that were like punky. This album was very mature. Like they took a step in a more, I don't want to say metal direction, but they took a step in a direction where the parts were more sophisticated, and they were just like, it was just a more mature writing process. And for me, this set them off not only as an international success, but this isn't even really my favorite Maiden album. The one after this, Peace of Mind, is a freaking epic, man. And that album is killing. I think it's the best Maiden album to this day. This set that up though. This album here is freaking great. But I think it's set it up for great things to come. And the album after this is a timeless metal classic too. So.
What really blows my mind on this album is Run to the Hills and Number of the Beast, Hallowed Be Thy Name are like in the canon of metal. You know what I mean? And they're like all on the same album, and they're all with the first time with this singer. It's like right out of they are like a new band. And one of the things Bruce Dickinson said, Bruce Dickinson had his eyes on that spot as a lead singer for Iron Maiden for a long time. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be. He couldn't get Samson to really do what It's funny because he couldn't get Samson to do what he wanted to do, and Maiden couldn't quite bring Paul Di'Anno to do what they wanted
needed.
to do. You know what I mean? But they knew each other. So it's a really like kind of a happy accident, or else we would not have this absolutely amazing record. Let's go around the room real quick. Anything anybody wants to plug? This is your chance, Lily.
Hot Licks with Lily 6, Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern. Go to rockrageradio.com or download the free app on your phone.
Keith, anything you want to plug, talk about before we get the hell out of here?
Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, I'm actually going to take my drums, set them up in a place, play live, and actually make money. And that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Congratulations,
yes,
man.
Yes.
It's a long...
May 23rd, I'll probably have to wear a biohazard suit, but I'm going to play on stage and play music to an entire campground. And you got to do what you got to do.
Go live and tag us.
Yeah, let me see it. Cool for you,
I
man.
might. I will do that.
And Emmy, go ahead and plug your stuff.
Check out Chats with the Freak on Fridays. It's on MSU Media. You can like us on Facebook. Please do that. And you can check it out on msumedia.com. And you guys can check out these cool-ass shirts that I just got into.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
And her photography is awesome, too.
I did not. Yeah, that's right. You do photography. That's how I met you. I think you already knew Emmy.
I've known Emmy.
But
Emmy for a minute.
what show? Was that the Y&T
Y&T.
concert?
Yeah. I was doing photos for Royal Honey.
Okay. Cool. And I'm wearing this very excellent shirt I got for my birthday that says The Guitar Father
Nice.
in the Godfather
I
font.
get it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Iron Maiden for me.
Okay, guys. Iron Maiden. Go on and listen to an Iron Maiden catalog this week. And we'll catch you guys all in the next Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. My name is Lou Lombardi. LouLombardiRocks.com is the website. We are going to wrap up with one more. We're going to get the hell out of here with Never Wake. Have a great week, guys. We'll catch you all in the next Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
But you said
Hey, Keith, you all right?
Yeah, I fell. I'm up now.
Good.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah, but he got up.
That's what happened.
How
You have
what?
8 vodka tonic before noon. That's what happens.
Alcohol afternoon. Well, alcohol breakfast for you.
So I did the show sober. I did. Was it
I can
better
tell
or
because
worse?
This shit is
It was the same.
Okay. Because I decided to take me and alcohol are on a break,
Ugh.
so I'm taking a little alcoholic break.
I really only
I've
drink
actually-
heavily with
I've
you.
actually found a place that would deliver to my house, which is not good at all. Because now today I've had as like probably about 20 minutes ago, I actually had to have Samantha answer the door because they brought my order in a box, and I have some really tasty things here.
What did you get? Show us what you got.
We're gonna start off with a little Basil Hayden.
Oh yeah, Basil Hayden's great.
Basil Hayden is a very reputable Kentucky.
That's right, man. It's good bourbon. That's like
Straight-
top
straight
shelf
bourbon
shit.
whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good shit right here, buddy. The next thing we're going to do, a very interesting, we used to have this at back at old Triple B back in Washington, PA, back in the day. But that's where I discovered it. But now I've really become a big fan of this. It's called Whistle Pig.
Oh yeah.
Piggyback.
Okay.
I like the name.
Piggyback rye. I'm starting to get into ryes more. Ryes are very tasty too. So I got that delivered. So that's nice. I like that. I'm like Mr. Rogers, just showing everybody my shit. Then the next one we're going to have is made right here in Nola, Louisiana. This is Sazerac rye.
Oh, that's something.
And this is another one
Sazerac.
straight rye whiskey here. This is a little potent because this is a 90 proof whiskey. So that'll be good.
Hello, I'm
This
dead.
piggyback.
Hello, I'm
this
dead.
This piggyback is a 96. So, I mean, and I have a small bottle of, because I just got a blender today, I'm going to start making some more frozen drinks. So I'm going to have some eclectic drinks going on here. I have a bottle of tequila too. So
Look at him go with all his things.
Oh man.
Look at
I
that,
have
fancy pants.
I got a very impressive bar going together here too. Maybe I'll show that some time too, but I don't know if we have enough time because I have an extensive bottle collection over on the cabinet, up on the countertop there. So it's ever growing, and now there's 4 more family members tonight, so that's a beautiful thing.
Nice. It's a growing family.
I
is.
drank some effing Merlot the other day.
Oh no!
Merlot.
It was a gift, so I drank it.
Yeah, if you don't, that's alcohol abuse.
Right, legit. Merlot is not my favorite. However, it was a gift, so I drank it.
It's free. It's you know what they say. If it's free, it's all right for me.
If it's free, there's no calories, right?
Yeah.
You guys have show ideas for next week?
You're funny.
We can do a versus.
We haven't done a versus in a minute.
You want to do a versus? Keith Hawkins versus the world.
The world will win.
Especially if you're drinking all that alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith Hawkins versus the coronavirus. If the coronavirus comes near me, only 2 people will survive. Well, me, Keith Richards, and the cockroaches because I have too much alcohol in my system.
Your
you
liver's
can't.
surviving.
You can't kill me. You just can kill my liver.
Okay, there's a couple things we could do. Speaking of drinking, is there could we do a collection, like the top 10 most hilarious alcohol-related rock star stories or something like that? I don't know. That's not a good way of saying it, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
times when,
Yeah, I mean-
like Ozzy snorting the ants, and
I do love
you know,
that.
that type of something like that. I don't know how we would do that. I don't know.
Alcohol and
you should
drug-related
consider-
stories. I just watched The Dirt again.
What'd you say, Keith?
I was thinking about watching that the other night because it is a really funny movie.
It's good shit.
It's interesting. It's like, to me, like I said before, the acting level is about the same as porn, but it is funny.
Well,
And it's
I mean,
fun
it's
movie.
Netflix.
It's definitely a fun movie to watch.
I watched
Well, I
it again
think
because, I finally got Netflix. So. Oh, I watched Murder in the Front Row, the documentary about thrash metal.
Was it good?
I've seen that. It come up on my page
Here's
the other
the
day.
thing. I liked
any
it,
good?
but it was the Metallica show. Is what it was.
Oh, well, of course.
It was talking all about, like, every time they would go to another band, which I was interested in hearing about, it'd be like, back to Metallica. So it was mostly Metallica for the hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was mostly
Do you want to
So you can
do?
listen-
How about the top
you can
10
listen
most
to Lars
shocking?
ramble for
How about the
hours.
top 10 most shocking heavy? We'll limit it to heavy metal. Top 10 most shocking heavy metal documentaries.
Okay.
What do you
Most
think?
shocking?
Shocking.
All right, we'll give it a shot.
Top 10 most shocking heavy metal documentaries.
Since I'm watching more TV lately, I guess so.
let me make a note.
I just made
Or
it
else
too.
I'll be texting Lily. Hey, what were we going to talk about?
You do that on Saturdays, usually.
What'd you do for your birthday, Lou?
What did I do? I watched some bad movies. I know I do. I rewatched Alien Covenant because I got it on Blu-ray and never watched the Blu-ray. And later on that day, Kevin came over and we watched Light of Day. And Light of Day, Light of Day has a couple of like very famous people in it that have like one line. You know who's in it? Michael Rooker is in it.
I haven't seen it in a minute, but yes.
He's got one. He plays a bartender. He has one line. He's like a giant star now, 30 years later. But he has one line in that. And Trent Reznor is in that movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was like nothing. Nobody knew who the fuck he was in that.
I bought Satisfaction with Julia Roberts and Justine Bateman, and Debbie Harry's in that as Liam Neeson's girlfriend. And I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh wow,
she's in that. I forgot, and she's a bitch.
If you ever want to see Debbie Harry, this is a very odd movie. You ever see Debbie Harry actually in a movie that she actually has some lines and like?
I know what you're gonna
wouldn't say
say. I know what you're gonna say.
It's called Heavy.
Oh, it's not the.
Oh,
I
I
thought
thought you were going to say Hairspray.
I thought you were gonna
Heavy.
say Tales from the Dark
Deborah
Side.
Harry she plays like a waitress in this movie called Heavy. It's a very odd movie. As like one dude, I don't know his name, a heavier set guy, bald, and he kind of like kills his mother and owns the diner they worked at, and it's odd. And he never tells anybody she's dead, and he kind of like leaves her at the house, and it's just a very bizarre movie. But she's in that as a waitress.
Is it like Eraserhead?
That's
bizarre
No,
movie.
it's not. It's not as effed up as that.
Yeah, no, she's in. She's a pretty big role in the theatrical version of Tales from the Dark Side.
That's cool.
She does. She
Yeah.
does. He has that little kid in a cage.
Yeah, she's gonna cook him. That's every time I see him, I'm like, oh, that's right, that's Debbie Harry. I forgot that she was in that. She's cute in that too. She looks pretty good.
You know what I've watched 2 episodes of that really sucks out loud is the. Do you ever see these new creep shows that are out?
You don't like
Does
them?
it suck? Because I haven't seen it
liked
yet.
I really liked them. You don't like
Nah,
them?
I've seen, nah, not so far. It
All
doesn't
practical
enough for me.
effects and everything. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's practical being shitty.
Really? I thought
Yeah,
it was good.
I mean,
You
the
don't
one with
like
blood-
anything with effects, though, dude. You're not like that. You just like the
Nah,
slasher up, chop
the
them up
one-
thing.
The one was really bloody. I watched last night. It was really bloody, but it was like, which is usually up my alley. But it's just, I don't know. The stories aren't real strong. You see the one. I think there's only been 2 so far. I've only watched 2.
Yeah, I liked them. Try the one on Shudder. You should try. There's a couple on there you would like. Try Bliss.
Bliss.
Yeah,
you
it's
said
about
that.
the lady who's the painter, who's the artist. That's
Yeah.
a total. And the other one is called shit.
It's called shit.
It's called shit. Widow.
I don't know what you're talking about, so sure.
It's on Shudder, I think. And it's like a what the fuck did I just watch? I don't know if it's good or not. It's so crazy. I'm not sure it was good. I can't tell you.
I
just-
like What We Do in the Shadows series. Did you see the movie?
No.
Okay, so the movie, it's funny. It's not.
Yeah, I've heard that the movie's like
It's hysterical. But then they have now they're on season 2 of their series, and they have all these cameos from super famous people, and it's just hysterical. It's just hysterical. All these vampires are trying to live in now times, and it's great.
Is it good?
Yes, I think it's so funny. I mean, some people probably hate it, but I got to get another drink.
I watched some very I haven't really watched I told you guys I was getting into Game of Thrones a little bit, but I'm going through that very slowly. I'm not like allowing myself to binge it because you know I'll never leave the fucking living room.
I don't get that. I mean, I know people watch. I must be in the minority. I don't get that show, man. It's like the Rolling Stones. I just don't get them.
I'm not doing it.
It's like a way I describe it is it's like Days of Our Lives with like
Meets Pornhub.
but they actually like kill each other. There's like actually bloody deaths.
No, I'm not into it.
And brothers and sisters are having sex.
I'm not
There's
into
a
it.
lot of
bizarre,
incest
man.
in that. There's a lot of incest in it.
I'm also rewatching Cheers, just to throw that way out there.
Wow.
On
Is that on something? Is that on?
It's on Netflix.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. Because I felt really lonely not being in bars anymore, so I started watching Cheers.
You can watch Cheers and have a drink and feel like
Right,
you're in a
I'm
bar.
feeling good about it. I'm like tagging myself at my speakeasy up there.
Well, I think that from what they're saying, I think we're going to start seeing some bars happen in the next week or so. So
My mom told me I'm not allowed to walk down to Hofbräu. If I walk down there, then I need to call her to take me home.
why?
Because she's afraid I'm going to hurt myself.
It's right down the hill from you, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah.
she's afraid I'm going to hurt myself if I go down there.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it depends on how much you're going to put away that night.
Well,
I mean,
you
if
know,
take it easy.
They have
The second I'm in an open bar, we're done.
they have really
Really?
shitty booze.
They do.
It's like their top shelf bourbon is Jim Beam.
Yup.
I've been in the hop, bro. It's been a lot of years, but I've had a couple drinks there before.
It's-
back in the day. Back in the long
when
days.
we stopped there one night.
Oh, where the hell were we?
Yeah, we came back.
We went
stopped
Y&T. It was Y&T night.
there. Yeah, we stopped there on the way back, and I was like, "Why in the hell are we in here?"
Because Lily needed another drink. That's why.
It's like we are fucked up. What the fuck are we doing in this place?
But we were like close to home, so it was okay.
Oh man, that place. I don't know about that place. Man.
It's super divey. I love it.
Oh man, if they could just get like, if
They won't.
They don't even have wild turkey.
Nah. They
You
don't
know,
got any
I'm
of
like,
that.
you can't afford a big jug of wild turkey. Come on, man.
No, wait, we weren't at Y&T because you drove
What?
yourself. Where the hell were we?
We were somewhere. I
Shit.
forget what we were doing.
So do I. It was that good of a night.
I got we're gonna try to get some. If you know some people that want to come on the podcast and hang out with us, you think it would be funny or cool? Got something going on, musicians. I'm trying to do guests. You know, some will be fun and funny. Some will be duds. Like you won't know. We just try people. You know, but the idea is to like if they get on, they might help promote. Like I think Emmy will spread it around that she was
she
on.
will,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Bill Damiano will do that. So the idea is, and I know some other guys that aren't local at all that want to come on because I know them through Rockin' Pod. They want to do stuff. So, and I'm going to bring some bands on too. I'm going to bring Reign of Z on and some bands like that, and just have them hang out, make smart ass comments.
Divine Tragedy. You should have them on.
Have them on. What are you doing? What are you clicking? What are you doing? You playing
Oh,
with
sorry, it's
stapler?
habit, man. I got this box of I ordered this box of cigars when it came yesterday, and they're really good. It's kind of a mild cigar, but I really enjoy it. A cigar once in a
I don't
while.
get cigars. What do you like about cigars?
Chris Thunderwolf once on.
Okay.
Yeah, put his ass on.
Yeah,
there.
we'll do. We'll do him next week.
All right.
I'll message him. Tell him I'll message him. We'll get him. on
He's
next
listening. He texted me.
week. Yeah, we'll get him on next week.
Anybody but friggin' Altman. You can imagine him on
No.
there.
No. I'm talking about people that have something going on, that are in a
People that are
band.
legit. People that can just talk shit the whole time.
Yeah, people have something going on. They're in a band. They got Chris is a music related business. You know, stuff like that. People that we could like cross promote with. That's the point of it. It's not just to have anybody. You know.
Yeah, you can't just have any swinging dick on there.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
It's not gonna work.
I mean, I brought Emmy on because she's in the music business. You know.
What about Jonna?
Where'd she go? Is she gone?
Yeah,
She took off.
She jumped off.
All right.
But yeah, I wanted her to hang out, but I think she thought it was over, and I didn't get a chance to tell her to stay.
She's also probably got some work to do.
But yeah, we could get Jonna on. But yeah, there's a lot of there's people like that. I want to try to get them to come on. And I got this guy messaged me today. His name's Josh Turk. Him and his brothers have a band together. And Keith, these kids, they have insane harmonies. Like
Really?
in freaking sane. Let me see if I can.
Royal Honey would
How old
probably
are
like
they?
to come on.
They're
How old are
young.
they?
They're like probably in their 20s.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? I mean, they might be 30, but here's their version of. Seven Bridges Road.
2, 3. There are stars in the southern sky, southward as you go. There is moonlight and moss in the trees, down the seven bridges road. Though I have love of you.
But I mean, they're great, but it's not really our format.
Yeah, that's
they're
that's
great.
good shit. I mean, where do you know that? Where do you know them from?
I had him on I interviewed him a couple years ago when I was doing interviews. The main guy, the Josh, and he's a really nice guy. But
Where are they from?
They're from, I think they're Canadian.
Oh, you know they're nice guys then.
They're from Canada.
Canada.
But
Everybody loves Canadians. Are always nice guys.
But
you know?
yeah, he's a really sweet guy, and he's got a great voice, and they have original songs too that are very good. But I just
that sounded really good. I mean, that's not something you can just sit down and do. That's you got to have that thing, you know, which is something I do not have. That's why I revert to beating things with sticks, because that's what I know how to do.
I do that too, just not with drums.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just think in terms of the style, I'm not sure, because that's kind of what their originals sound like. They have that.
We can be diverse. We can be diverse.
You think we can be diverse? Because he wants to come on and do something. Maybe we'll pair him with a topic where we're doing something that's a little less, not an Iron Maiden thing.
Right. Yeah, we could do that.
And not like heavy,
We
most
should-
violent heavy metal documentaries. Or
We
whatever.
should be diverse. We should be, to appeal to all audiences.
Well, we don't want to lose people that would be like,
I think people would like that, though.
Okay, so maybe I'll talk to him about. He's been messaging me. He wants to come on and do something. So
Because our older fans might like this.
yeah, old geezes. So, anyways, man. So you're gonna play a gig in the woods
Yeah, man.
with the crawdads and the frogs and all that.
Whatever, you know, alligators and shit like that. Whatever.
I mean,
I'll
it's whatever.
Bite my goddamn, to bite my foot off or some shit. Yeah, but there's an actual gig that didn't get canceled.
There it is. Good shit.
I actually just for fun, it's depressingly funny at the same time. I kept track of like the gigs I lost and the money I would probably roughly make at each one of these gigs, and it pisses me off.
Do you want to tell us?
Nah,
Okay.
I'll just get mad and I'll just end up breaking shit tonight.
Don't break your new bottles of alcohol.
No,
Drink them. That's why you bought them.
it's probably in the $1,000 range. I really don't want to but it's money. I mean, it's money that a lot of gigs don't pay really well, but I mean, there's that occasional gig that you can make, a couple $100 or something.
Also, it's been 2 months.
Exactly, it's occasional, and I don't like even places that I play on a regular basis. I don't make that much money, but you're playing them constantly, and it's like you're hopefully getting tips and building a following there. So it's like, but I mean, and then there's like stuff I do with original bands that are like making no money, but play for tips. Like that one young band I play with right now is not playing out, but it's progress. You know what I mean? They're keeping me young because they actually want to play and they show up and they don't have a lot of excuses, which is pretty good.
That's nice. I need another tattoo.
It's not like gigs you can just show up and play the tunes. It's the hardest thing about being in a band is actually getting people to show up. That's what I'm starting to realize.
Yeah.
If I can get 4 to 5 people, even 2 other people beside me, to show up and actually play, that's a miracle.
And well, what's so funny, Keith, is like we talked about this
Fucking
before.
miracle.
There's so many musicians like, I don't understand why I can't make it in this business. Blah 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 blah. Well, maybe if you'd show up, maybe if you learned your parts, maybe if you were like easy to work with. You don't have to be fucking Steve Vai. You just got to be able to be decent and be easy to work with. I mean, them easy to work with goes a long way.
I've never claimed to be the best anything, and I know that there's drummers out there that'll fucking drum circles around me, and I ain't the best, I ain't the fucking worst. But I show up, good gear, my shit sounds good. I'm not a dick, and I won't drink all your booze up usually. So it's like, well, if I can do that, and you pay me without giving me a runaround, shit, man, we'll get along. It'll be complete and total harmony.
I like it. I like complete and total harmony. Hey guys, I'm gonna go, man. I'm kind of tired, so I'm gonna wrap up. We'll do something with. So think about some heavy metal, shocking metal heavy metal documentaries. But definitely, we get to go balls out metal. Let's go balls metal.
Balls metal.
Balls out metal. So
What do you mean, like hard, like that Norwegian shit?
Yeah.
there's a documentary about the Norwegian people that were burning the churches and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
kind of
watch it.
intense.
Oh, yeah, they're
I mean,
fucking
even if you
crazy.
want to talk about the decline of Western civilization, the metal years. There's a whole bunch of heavy metal documentaries out there. Some Kind of Monster, that's, I know Lily's not a big Metallica fan, but,
I'll do it.
so think about, I mean, whatever. I mean, I know there's a documentary about G.G. Allen,
Oh.
And thank God for that, I'll tell you that much.
Flinging poo like a monkey.
All right, guys.
It's not a metal one, but I think that still stays one of the best ones I've seen lately is that Sound City, man. That Sound City that's a rocking ass
Well,
documentary.
we want to go for shock value. So think of stuff that's
Shock-
shocking and
shock-
fucked up, and
It's
like I can't.
shocking it's shocking how many goddamn hits come out of that freaking studio. That's what's shocking.
Who do you think's going to die first? Paul McCartney or Ringo Starr?
Ringo.
That's morbid. Right? No, I don't know. Ringo, I seen him the other day doing an interview. He looks freaking.
He does.
fantastic.
He looks freaking great.
I feel like he does. Well, maybe not. I was gonna say I feel like he does more drugs, but that might keep him alive.
I'm going to say I think it's going to be Paul McCartney. That's going to break
I
a
think
lot of
Paul
people's heart,
actually
man, when he
being,
dies.
Like as old
I
as
don't
he is,
care.
he keeps going, and like I think he's like the Energizer Bunny. Eventually, that freaking battery will run down.
You can't go forever.
My
Unfortunately.
favorite Beatles already dead, so I don't care.
George Harrison.
Yeah.
George.
I'm gonna say Pete Best is still alive. So.
Is Pete Best still alive? No.
I think he is.
Here, let's
What?
look. I'm gonna look it up right now.
If there was just some
If
way
it-
we could look it up and know. I mean,
No, if he died, it's not. He hasn't been dead for that long. If I know that, I think
this didn't work.
he just played Hardwood Acres like 10 years ago.
Really?
What
Yeah.
was he doing? Playing
He was
Harley-
playing in it. They're called the Pete Best Band.
He's still alive.
How old is he?
I knew it.
78.
Wow.
Can't fuck with me on that, Lou. I'm telling you.
Jesus Christ.
He's not dead.
Paul McCartney, unfortunately, I hate to say it, it'll break my freaking heart. Probably, arguably, with him and Lennon, God rest his soul too. But the best goddamn songwriters of all time, man. Jesus Christ.
Great songwriting
You said you didn't
teams.
you said you didn't like that movie yesterday as much as me. I really thought. But if
I
you listen
loved
to
it.
Somebody else, you see somebody else sing their songs, and I mean, even the guy who was playing that role was just some dude you never heard, who's Jabron, you never heard of before. But whoever was singing those parts of it, that guy. But he's interpreting their songs. They had some fucking masterpieces where you're like, yeah, it's the Beatles. Man, that's a good song. Oh shit, that's a good song too. Well, that's a really good song. Oh Christ, that's another good song.
Yeah.
You know what I
Those
liked
and
about
those
that
and
song
those.
is that he could not Google lyrics to the songs. He had to just remember all
And he
the
got
lyrics
some of them
and
wrong.
the music.
He
yeah.
got some of them wrong. That was funny.
Eleanor Rigby, he could not
Yeah.
figure out.
That was
I just
great.
think it was just a good idea for a movie. I didn't say it was an Oscar nominee, but it was a good.
I
I've seen
loved
it
it.
several times. I
Hey,
really liked
dude.
it. And I thought
Well, I wanted to
thought it
punch
was,
that guy. So.
it had a little too much Ed Sheeran for me in it. The ginger geezer, but I mean, it was like,
Yeah, that fucking Ed, whatever his name, I couldn't.
Sharon. Oh, when he
Ed
had his
Sheeran's
own
in it.
ringtone on his phone, I wanted to like puke.
I was
Yeah,
like,
he's in there a little too much, but other than that, I mean, the movie is good. But it's when you hear somebody else sing their songs, it's like, fuck, man, that is really good shit. Today, and those songs are written sometimes in the '60s, in the '70s, and you're like, I mean, they weren't a band all that long
Right.
compared to other bands. The body of work that the Beatles did in their time they had together is ridiculous.
well, my sort of thought of it was this. They did this thing where like, Oasis didn't exist, but let me tell you what, David Bowie would not exist. Led Zeppelin,
they had to pick
the
and choose,
Rolling
Lou.
Stones, none, their music, musical landscape would look completely different. We'd probably be still playing skiffle if it wasn't for the fucking Beatles.
They had to pick and choose for the
I
movie.
mean, like I just thought, I thought like they were trying to pay homage to the Beatles, but I thought they were kind of insulting the Beatles because there would be nothing without the Beatles. There would be no hippie movement, no transcendental meditation. You think of all the things that the Beatles brought culturally to the world. And like there would be none of that.
I'm a little mad that there was no Coca-Cola. That's what I'm mad about. Quite
and no
honestly.
cigarettes.
And no cigarettes. I would die.
Nobody smoked.
I could do it. I could do without that. It was a town in France, though. But
You know. Yeah, it was a town in France. That was fun. I mean, it had a couple of moments where I giggled. I thought it was like cute, but it just.
He hated Ellie though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, her and that guy are working towards his career, and when he finally catches a break, she's like, "If you really loved me, you'd stay here with me." And
That's
I'm like,
woman shit.
Fuck
and you know
you.
that. You know that's women shit. Come on.
That's wrong.
But that's how women
I
are.
don't care. It's wrong.
yeah,
They're supposedly that was her.
him. I mean,
That was her dream too. They were going to work this together, and she was, and he's like, I got to go, and she's like, you're going to stay with me.
That's women.
I mean,
shit.
when somebody and she gets all high and mighty because he never made a move. But when somebody asks if that was her boyfriend, immediately she's like, "Oh no, we never got together." Like she was all offended. I'm like, "Do you like the guy or not?" It was annoying.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
To me,
I think that.
other than the music, the best part of the movie was Rocky. Man, Rocky he rocks in that movie. Rocky rocks. He had the best lines in that movie. Rocky was the sort of roadie.
The roadie guy.
Oh,
He's
he's
from-
buddy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was great. No, like I said, that's some, and I thought there was kind of, I liked the thing that John Lennon was still alive.
I died.
And I thought the actor that did, I thought the way they did that was pretty cool.
Well, like halfway to the movie, I said out loud, I'm like, "Oh my god, John Lennon's not dead yet."
Yeah.
I said it out loud. And
That was a kind of thing. I thought that was kind and I liked the fact that there was a couple other people that remembered the Beatles too.
Yeah,
and they all got together. I thought that there was some stuff about it I liked, but I just wasn't blown away
That was
by
a
it.
twisty part of the movie I thought was cool. And I think that Danny Boyle has he has some really good ideas for movies. That's a very, very distant, kind of that's a stress for him to do that movie. That's why I was so impressed with it at first. It was like this is the same dude that did Trainspotting. It's the same dude that did 28 Days Later, for Christ's sake, with some kind of plague movie. I mean, this guy is, he has good ideas,
Did you see Sunshine? That's a
Yeah,
Danny
like-
Boyle movie.
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
It's
See,
it's okay.
it's controversial. Some people like it, some people don't. I liked it. But all right, guys.
I mean, it's kind of like, I look at that the same way as people look at, Justin Bieber. I don't like him, but he sells a lot of records, but I can give a shit.
I want to stab him in the face, but that's fine.
All right, so next week we're going to talk about Justin Bieber's most shocking moments.
Oh, I'll be busy.
He's a Jesus man now.
Is he?
That's what I heard. I don't give a shit. I can care less. He's not going to go to Jesus, and he's going to go straight to hell because he's a bad person.
He's like,
Matter of fact, if you were to enter his home when he was sleeping and look underneath his hair, there'd be 3 6s there.
Oh, he's got a matching tattoo as me. I'm not okay with that.
that's hilarious. What if he gets a Lily V6 tattoo?
I'm still not okay with that. In fact, I might go fucking scrape it off with sandpaper.
He is a modern day Damien Thorne. Him and fucking Bill Gates. I don't know.
I can't have it.
All right, man. I'll talk to you guys next week. I'll see you, man. I got to roll. I'm exhausted. I'll talk to you guys
All
soon.
right, go to sleep, old man. What are you now, 70?
Yeah,
Wow.
All right.
I'm old now. See you guys.
I know.
Bye.
Oh,